Good morning, Knicks Nation. Today is Thursday, the 13th day of July 2023. I hope you're safe and healthy today, and that your family is safe and healthy, and that the needs of you and your family in terms of food, shelter, clothing, as well as health are being met today. Blessings upon those that work in the healthcare field, who, along with the first responders, are out here every day trying to save lives. And those who pick up garbage for us to keep our places clean and disease-free, as well as those that make deliveries of things like mail, all our mail people out there and all our delivery people for our convenience. Double blessings on the men and women that are out here trying to help rescue and deliver the children and teenagers that are the victims of child molestation and pedophilia. The victims also, people, the victims of prostitution, child prostitution, pornography, child pornography, human trafficking, sex slavery. Double curses on the perpetrators, the profiteers, and the perverts of these things. Finally, double blessings on the homeless. Nearly 600,000 men, women, and mostly children homeless in the United States of America, and millions around the world in similar or worse conditions. Blessings upon them, for theirs is the kingdom. So yesterday, a couple of things. I'm going to talk about Summer League, finally. I've been observing Summer League, and to put it mildly, I have not been impressed. But there's been a couple of bright spots. And before we get into that, I'm looking forward to the Dante DiVincenzo presser, where he's introduced. I'm also looking forward to the Obi Toppin presser. I want to see that in Indiana when it happens. And I'm also wondering, what are they going to do with Evan Fournier? And why do I say that? It's because I think there's a 99% chance that they trade Evan Fournier. There's just, I believe right now, from the Don's track record, he's trying to trade Evan Fournier. He's trying to do this. He's trying to hook up Evan Fournier so he goes to a team that he can play. A team that would need a shooter like him and not worry about his defense. And he's trying to get something back. Now, by right, you take on that contract, even though it's expiring, teams are going to want probably picks from New York, maybe a second rounder or something. But I think that's what's holding up the deal. I'm thinking before the end of July, but certainly before September, they get the deal done for Evan Fournier. And the thing is, the question I have about that is twofold. Number one, are they going to package him with another player to bring back a player? Because see, what some of y'all still don't get. The Knicks don't need nor have room for any more players. Keep coming there. What do you think about this guy, that guy? It doesn't matter now. Their team, their roster is set. The only way their roster changes is if one of the guys they already have is traded. Evan Fournier doesn't count. He's not in the rotation. Neither does guys like Jericho Sims or Miles McBride. They're not in the rotation. I'm talking about of the 9 rotation players. If you're talking about anybody that's a starter in the NBA, you're talking about trading one of your 9 rotation players. Okay, and we've been through this. Some of y'all still don't get it. So you keep throwing these names out here, and it don't matter. None of them are coming. Unless you're trading one of your 9 rotation players. See? And so, again, let's go through this one more time before we go forward here. Julius Randle's not being traded. So Mitchell Robinson's not being traded. Jalen Brunson's not being traded. Quentin Grimes is not being traded. I heard some drunken fool on a podcast, a guest on a podcast, a Toronto guy, say, well, yeah, we'll trade your OB. A fair deal would be Grimes and IQ for OG. And I suggested to the host, please make sure that your guests don't drink hard liquor before they come onto your podcast, because they embarrass themselves. Seriously. The Knicks are not trading Grimes or IQ, and let's go through this again. They're on rookie deals. They're cheap, and they're good. They're 2 of the 3 best defenders in the perimeter the Knicks have. So they're not trading them for anybody. I know some of y'all have a hard time receiving that, but it's not. No. They're not trading Josh Hart. They're not trading him. Obviously, they're not trading Dante DiVincenzo. Okay? So what's left? You got R.J. Barrett and Hartenstein. That's what you got. That's what you got. So if they package Fournier with one of those guys to get somebody, it would have to be, of course, somebody that's going to be in the 9-man rotation. If it's for RJ, it'll be a starter. If it's for Hartenstein, it'll be a bench piece. But I can't see them packaging Hartenstein with Fournier for another bench piece. That's $27 million, $28 million. They're not, no. It'd be RJ, okay, if they were going to do it. But again, I'm starting to feel the likelihood is that RJ stays and that they just run it back and they include DiVincenzo in this squad. And some of y'all still can't get over that. You're still like, we need height. You know, this ain't street ball when you go choose the tallest guy and hope you hold the court. This is the league. All of these guys can play and they'll be in good shape with the crew they got. Believe me. But as long as Fournier is here, somebody could get traded. Because Fournier is definitely getting traded. It's just a question of under what guise. Is he just going to go by himself somewhere into cap space? You know, we're going to find out. Okay. Now, speaking of that, you know, summer league, people act like, you know, I understand. You know, you see San Antonio with Victor Wembanyama, right? You see Victor, they call him Wemby. See, you're excited because, you know, they got a future with that guy, right? You know, I was watching games yesterday, you know, and you see Detroit with the Ashur Thompson, very good, nice young player. You know, there is Grady L. Dick, but he could play. That young boy can shoot the rock. And so there's a number of, it's almost like Christmas. You see these new presents and you want to open the wrap the gifts. But you got to understand, that's for teams that failed. They were in the lottery for a reason. The Knicks are no longer there. The Knicks are on another level now. Okay? We're at the point now where there's no question in anybody that really sees basketball. The Knicks are a playoff team. All right? They're a playoff team. And they're going to stay a playoff team for the next few years. Okay? Question, so now you're not in a position where you're going to get these nicely wrapped new gifts. You know, you're not going to get that. Your Whitmores, your Carson, your whoever. You're not getting that because you're too good now. Okay? They drafted well. They developed well. Some people look at this as negative. You know, you wasted a pick on Obi. No, that means you just drafted well and you got too many good players and you can't play them all. That's a great situation for an organization. Okay, you got a Miles McBride that could be in a lot of teams' rotation, and he can't get minutes because your team is good. When I was a kid in high school, the equivalent of that, some of y'all would know, is this team out of Washington, the Mather. When I was a kid, if you made the team, if you made the varsity, I don't know how it is now, but back when I was a kid, when I was playing ball, if you made the varsity for DeMatha High School, you was going Division I. That's how good you had to be to even make the team, okay, for DeMatha. And so the Knicks are in that position. They're stacked. If you're in the rotation, you're good. And you fit Thibodeau's profile, right? So that's where we're at. So we're not going to have a whole lot of gifts to unwrap for the Summer League. Hence, our Summer League team stinks. But there was a couple of bright spots. Number one, Daquan Jeffries. I know they said he's day-to-day, but really they don't need to play him no more. I mean, he's 6'5", 6'6", 200-something pounds, very strong. You know, a wing type player. He distinguished himself, and he already had a contract. It's a non-guaranteed contract, $2 million. They should bring him back for sure. He's earned it. You know that. And some of y'all crying for Melo or crying for who was it? Taj. Stop it. This guy has earned his dream shot. He should get his $2 million. He should be in the spot. The other guy is Charlie Brown Jr. Charlie Brown Jr., man. Yesterday, he had 19 points. He was 8 of 15 from the field, 3 of 7 from the three-point line. But he's just head and shoulders better than anybody else the Knicks got out there. Him and Jeffries. It's like they're the two professional players, and everybody else is trying to learn how to be a professional player. By the way, I have not been impressed at all with Isaiah Roby. And some of y'all was just tripping. I heard one fool tried to tell me he's better than Obi. Anyway, this guy, I don't even know what they're wasting their time for with him. But like I said, I thought he was a trade piece. He still could be. I don't see any reason. I think Charlie Brown should take his spot. Charlie Brown, 6'6". He's a wing, 200 pounds. The boy's got a game that's really fine, refined, professional game. I'm not saying he's a starter, but look, all of these dudes in the league are trying to, accomplish their dream. They want to make the league. That's why when some of you throw out names like Melo, oldies but goodies, there's guys trying to survive, trying to make their name, trying to get paid. They got families too. I say Charlie Brown should get that other contract, honestly. Trevor Keels, I don't know. Like, all right, he's 19, so based on his age, you got to probably keep him, because he's 19 years old. So you got to give him a shot. Maybe he becomes something. He's not terrible. Let me not exaggerate. Trevor Keels is not a terrible basketball player. He's just not yet a professional basketball player. And again, that doesn't mean he will not become a professional basketball player. He's only 19 years old. Okay? So he could, and he started, at the end of the game yesterday, he started playing better. He's under a lot of pressure. You can tell the Tibbs style comments coming from Dice, one thing he says, just like any other guy. When he starts talking about that, he just has to work harder. He has to get better every day. That's just code for he's probably not going to make the team. But I hope that's wrong. I hope that Keels is still here and they just develop this kid. He's only 19 years old, right? So he's trying to accomplish his dream coming out of Duke. Let's give him a chance. What I see him is, like I said, he's like a Dort, the guy from Oklahoma City. He's got that style body and game. He's a bigger kid, huskier in terms of husky for a guard. If he just has to improve. Let's see what he can do. He has to, the problem with his body is some kids, like for example, Jalen Martin, he hasn't developed an adult body yet. He's still got a high school kid's body, right? So he's not ready yet. He got a high school kid's body. Even Wemby, he's really skinny. If you look at him 5 years from now, he's not going to look like that. Like if you look at Giannis Antetokounmpo when he came to the Bucks, he looked like Wemby, even younger. Giannis looked like a kid. But you look at him now, he got his grown man body. Well, Keels has a grown man body, and that's the problem. Say what? Yeah, he's liable to gain weight. So he should be working on making his body more lean, making himself more taut, making himself more tight, right? Not trying to get bigger or let himself get bigger because he's naturally a husky kid, right? He's a big boy. So I'd say I would sign Charlie Brown and drop Roby. I would sign Charlie Brown. Roby, they gave him $2 million already. They already gave him $2 million when they signed him in the spring. So he got some money. He could let him latch on to another team. But Charlie Brown, I like that kid's game. He's 26, so he's not a kid. But he's really a mature guy. He really, to me, deserves a spot, in the 14-man roster. I think he should be there. Like I said, I was looking to see Khalid Moore, but apparently they're not very high on him because he got 5 minutes one day, he got 0 minutes another day. I was looking to see this kid out of Fordham. I was looking to see what he got, but they apparently don't like him at all, So I don't know. Peterson played good too, but I think Peterson is another guy that's a veteran type dude that plays overseas or something and then comes in. He played very well. He was big time yesterday. Big shots at the end. And Marcus Garrett also played well. But really, Charlie Brown, I feel like he should be signed to the roster. You got, generally, we got on our roster, you got Daquan Jeffries, Isaiah Roby, and then you got a two-way Jalen Martin, you got Trevor Keels and Dwayne Washington right now. And then you got Jacoby Toppin. So Jacoby Toppin's already on a two-way, and so is Jalen Martin. So you can keep one more two-way guy. I think that should be Keels. And then you want to have, I would drop Roby and then put keep Jeffries. Jeffries already on the roster. Keep Jeffries on the roster. Give him his $2 million, and give $2 million to Charlie Brown. I think he's earned it. I think he has. These men, like I said, some of y'all don't know. You're such in fantasy that you're calling up oldies but goodies, and you got young men trying to support their families out here, man. We ain't got time for the oldie but goodie talk. We trying to win basketball games right now. We trying to go to the ECF. When we get really, really good, like when we finals, you might talk about oldies but goodies for ha-has. But right now, we trying to win basketball games. So, Taquan Jeffries and Charlie Brown, I really would like to see them stay on the team. Somebody's going to pick up Charlie Brown. I mean, he's too good not to. He played on Philly before. Somebody's going to pick him up. He's going to be on somebody's roster. I just hope he's on ours. I like him, and again, to get him for $2 million and to have guys at the back of the roster that could play like that, like him and Jeffries, this is really good. I like that. So in case somebody gets hurt, it's 82 game season. It's a grind, y'all. People get hurt, so you're going to need people to come up and play, right? Yeah, that's what I think about the summer league. But I think they have one more game, if I'm not mistaken. I think the Knicks play Friday. I think they play. Yes, they play Friday at 6:30 against Boston. So I don't know if I'll be able to see that game, but I'll see it on the replay. I'm gonna watch. I'll watch it on replay after Shabbat. But yeah, I like those two guys. I like watching them play. They play good basketball. Jalen Martin is too young. The boy got heart. I gotta give him that. He got heart. But he looks like a boy out there trying to play with grown men. In a couple of seasons, I think he might be something. I think he could be an NBA player. Like they asked him when he came off the court yesterday, what did you think you accomplished? I proved I can play with the best. He's playing in summer league. I like his confidence though. So I'm hoping that he ends up staying on the two-way or in the G League. Like I said, they could keep 3 guys. So I'm looking at Martin, Jacob Toppin, and Trevor Keels. And then, drop Dwayne Washington Jr. He got $1.8 million. So he got his money, So I am concerned with people getting money. When I heard they gave Roby the $2 million, I knew it was a strategic move by the Don. But I'm glad they gave him his money because he shouldn't stay on the team. Take your money, sir. Let's see if you can, go to China, go to Israel, go to another team, go back to Oklahoma City, wherever. Okay, but we don't need that. I think Charlie Brown should get that spot. Anyway, y'all enjoy your Thursday. We'll talk to you soon. Hopefully, we'll hear some Evan Fournier news sooner than later. But we'll talk to y'all soon. Enjoy. Shalom.